Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We're in my kitchen once again. It's the morning. This week I have no clue what we're going to be recording. Kind of just wanted to pick up the camera. Not really sure. I'm currently about to be finishing today. You hear that? Today I will be finishing. Let's see. I am 82% into the Reckoning from the Zodiac Academy series. Okay, one thing about me guys, this might just be a whole entire Zodiac Academy video. When I start a series this long and this fucking amazing, I just need to get through it. And I'm 82% into it, so I'm probably going to finish it here this morning while I'm eating, and that's what we're going to be doing this morning. Like I said, the Reckoning is kind of just, you're seeing in this one more of like the relationships building between hair. Not only that, but they're getting revenge back for what theirs have did to them in book 2. I feel like they all have relationships with the Vega twins, but their relationships are different. In the second book, we learn about, like, you know, mate. Then we learn about nebulized allies or something like that, which are like basically fated best friends at this point. Like, those are you're attracted to these people. They are there for you. You can have a deeper level of attraction that you think could be like a mate, but actually they're not really your mate type of vibe. And then we learned about like the destined rivals. I can't remember what the name of that was. And I really think that Darius and Tori are mates, and then I think Orion and Darcy are mates. Just because, well, especially Darcy and Orion, I'm really getting it. They keep running into each other. They have like this secret relationship forming in this book that you see build even more. Then you have Darius, who like is literally hates that Tori, which he calls Roxy, is sleeping with Caleb, and it's becoming a whole thing. He gets so angry about it. He just doesn't think rationally around her and doesn't even realize that, hey, I should probably tell you that I don't like that. Like, it's just the whole process of how the fate works. They're more of like power hungry people, and how they go about their way is by fighting with their powers and things like that. Like, they don't ever show weakness and things like that. And obviously the girls coming from the mortal world, they have that advantage. They have that nicer side to them than they do in Solaria. I'm liking it. Something really big is happening. They got another card kind of just stating like, hey, like something really huge is gonna happen to you guys on the lunar eclipse. We know that Darius's dad is planning something for the lunar eclipse. So it's just coming together in my mind. Like, something really fucking terrible is about to happen. We're still waiting for their order to emerge, and I'm excited. I can't remember exactly, so I reread. So the first 3 books are reread for me. That's kind of why I haven't really recorded much of it. I will say I cannot remember exactly what order they emerge at. I can't remember that, and I feel like that's something that I should remember. I'm pretty sure I know, but I'm not 110%, you know? So I'm excited to see that. So I'm gonna just get to reading, making me a quick breakfast, and calling it. I just want to read. I want to read, and I'm excited. Okay guys, so I do not mind the mess behind me. We have art stuff, my freaking snack that I was eating, dishes that I need to do. I finished The Reckoning. I'm giving it 4.5 stars. It's the same rating I gave it the first time I read it. So that ending, like, so much from this point, so much more is going to happen now. Because I feel like they're finally getting an understanding of their magic, they're finally getting control over their magic, and now they have this whole other element that they're probably to figure out, and I really hope we take Darius's dad down. They need to take him down. What I'm really hating is that, like, you see Darius and Orion saying like how sorry they are and like how they don't know what to do, and it's just like, but you do know what to do. If you bring them into the fold on what your plan is for your dad, it will be so much better for you. But now they want revenge. They want revenge for you getting them in the shit that you got them in, and I'm all for it. So I can't wait. I'm jumping right into Shadow Princess, but I got book mail, so let's see. I got this, I ordered this. This is The Natural. I heard so many good things about this, so of course I had to pick it up. I love a good YA book, but I also love the show that everyone compares this to. So I'm excited to read this and see how it goes. But I'm over here trying to download the Shadow Princess. Just add it to my library then. It's not going for me. So we're gonna start Shadow Princess here soon as I can get it to start. But wow. So I wonder if she's gonna still in the next book pursue this relationship she has kind of going with Caleb, or if she's just gonna like knock it all off and just say fuck the hairs and just go full fucking badass. For everything that's happening, I wonder if the people that have been sacrificed for this ritual that Darius' dad and Orion's mother have done if these people are stuck in the Shadowlands. Does that make sense? Like, I wonder how that whole aspect of it all gonna go. Are they gonna be able, with shadow power, because we know that that's the nymph land, are they gonna be able to control the nymphs now? Like, I have all these different questions at the end of this book that I'm just like, wow, are we gonna, like, is somebody gonna eventually be able to control these crazy ass nymphs that steal power? If they steal the power and somebody kills them, are they gonna be able to take that power? Or am I just really thinking everything? I might just be overthinking everything right now, but I'm so excited to start Shadow Princess. So I'm gonna do my dishes and then start it because I need to read. Guys, so I am 28% into the Shadow Princess. Absolutely loving it. We're still seeing this hate-love relationship between Darius and Tori, and we're seeing this, like, we're getting these sweet moments that she had with him, and she realizes, like, hey, like, he can be sweet, but then we're also getting the digger side of him, but then he's internally dealing with, like, actually wanting her and not understanding why he wants her. And my thing is that they know about these eternal mates. Like, why are you not putting two and two together? I don't know exactly how that all works. And I'm also really happy that we're seeing Nox in this one from the Dark Fae series. I can't remember exactly what this series is called, but from this series we're seeing Nox. Absolutely loving it. They are Nebulae allies, so basically they're friendships for life. So they're basically like best friends for life, basically. And I'm just loving reading about him being in the academy and their relationship building, him teaching them, things like that. Caleb says that he's family, that Nox is family, and I want to know how they're all like intertwined with one another. So I'm just really loving everything that's going on. In this one, obviously, we know we're dealing with a lot more of the shadows because of everything that happened at the end of book 3. We're seeing Darcy and Orion's relationship progress, and they're getting this urge where they can't be, like, they need to be with one another. They're trying to be really sneaky about it because obviously him being a teacher at the academy and her being a student, she can get expelled and he could be power shunned. So they're trying to work around everything the best way that they can. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. We're seeing like the hairs kind of fall apart. We're seeing them want people that they shouldn't want. Obviously we have Darius and Caleb wanting Tori. Seth wanted Darcy, but now like he kicked her out of his pack, so he's kind of just like over her at this point. Then we have Matt wanting Gru, and it's just the most hilarious thing ever because if you have seen Gru in the past books, and she is hilarious, just the way that she talks and things like that. I love her, and he really wants her, and she is just like, don't want you, boy. On to the next one, and I love it. I love it. So I can't wait to see what else is about to happen in it. There's just so much going on, and I can't wait to see how this whole series is going to wrap up, but how book 4 is going to end in a cliffhanger. It just has to end in a cliffhanger because if it doesn't, then it's just not them. So I love Caleb. I hope since we're following like Orion and the Vegas and Darius in this pretty much. I mean, I know we're getting other POVs of the guys. I'm hoping that we get their stories and them finding their mate because I would absolutely devour that and love that. Guys, I'm literally 99% into it, like literally probably have like a chapter left of reading this, and I am pissed at Tori right now because what the fuck? What? Oh my, I'm so angry right now at her because it's like, you had your moment. You guys had your moment and you still pushed him away when this was probably the biggest moment of your guys' life. My mouth was on the floor because I'm just like, what the is going on? Like, Tori is destined to just keep breaking herself. It doesn't matter what good comes to her. She's constantly gonna just push at it until nothing wants her anymore. And I'm still in shock right now because what the f did I just read? And then we have this whole thing of the shadows in this book, which plays a real, obviously, big part in this book because it's called A Shadowed Princess. And we see this divide between the sisters at one point because of them having to keep lies from one another. And there's just so much tension and agony going on in this book that I still cannot fully process it. Like, my mouth is literally still on the floor because what did I just read? Not only that, we have the, the 4 guys that are still assholes, and we see Tori and Caleb together in this one, but then we see them kind of fall out as well, because Caleb knows that like that's not his girl. Like he knows that like what they have isn't forever, and obviously Tori's like, well, you can't have me forever, then you can't have me now either. I don't know, there's just so much going on in this book, so much I want to say, but since it's book number 4, I can't say without giving things away. And I'm just like, my mouth is just on the floor. Darius's dad is still a dick number 1. Anybody else feel like this, or is it just me? Like, what did I just read, and why is my mouth on the floor? Because anyone who knows and has read this book, and you read that chapter, well, chapters of them, why? Like, I can never, why? Pray to God that they have a moment again. I can't, my heart literally fucking hurts, and I need to jump into the next book as soon as I'm done with this book. And guys, I'm supposed to be editing today because tomorrow's Friday, and I try to post all my videos on Friday, and guess what? I'm not editing. I haven't even touched my computer in the last 2 days because I've been reading non-stop, and I can't. I'm reading currently on my phone because my Kindle literally was about to die. It was at 8%, the lowest it's ever gotten, 29%. So literally just have maybe a couple more pages, 6 minutes left in the book. So a chapter basically, and I have no words. We just seen Orion, I don't know how to say his name. Is it Orion and Darcy do some dark magic stuff, and that was wild and crazy in itself. Basically saying how like she can't feel her or her powers or anything like that right now. So I wonder what is going to happen and how this is going to affect them and her in the next book and things like that. I don't know, guys. There's so much. We've seen them go to the palace, what is it? The Palace of Souls, I think, or something like that. And just wow, it was just everything. Yeah, like the moments that they had with the hairs and like that whole snowball fight, I thought it was really cute. It just showed that they can actually kind of coexist with one another and get along and do what they need to do. Still feeling bad for Darius's brother in this one. Obviously, we learned that he gets his orders. I can't remember if it's in the, I think it might be in the second book. It might be in the end of the first book going into the second book. And he's obviously not a dragon like his brother and dad. But I also have a feeling that his dad isn't actually his dad, of just little things that you need to catch onto while reading. And I feel like I caught on to a lot of them this time, and I'm just invested. I'm invested, guys, so just keep going. I wish I was recording when I was reading that chapter because my heart sank to my ass. I was just like, no, she did not. I'm still stuck on it because I cannot believe she did what she did. I have no words. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna keep reading, and then I'm gonna jump into the next book, and then I'll give you guys my rating. I'm pretty sure this is like a 5-star for me, this book, because so much happens and so many important things happen in this book. I'm excited to see the rest of this journey. I am here to update you guys. I'm on Cursed Fates. I'm like literally 50% through it, guys. Like, I could not put it down yesterday. I'm invested in the series. So there's just so much going on in here that I want to tell you guys, but obviously I can't say because then it's going to be a spoiler, and we don't want any spoilers going out or anything like that. I think they're realizing, like, first I think Tori's almost to the point where she's realizing like maybe what she did was a huge mistake. They're both really pining for one another at this point. And then we have the Vegas and the guys' relationship, and in this one they officially announced that like they're gonna take the throne, which I don't think that's really a big surprise. I don't think we knew exactly when they were gonna say it, but we knew that that was going to eventually happen. I mean, it just made sense in every which way, to be quite honest. Then we have Darius' dad, who I think they're realizing is a huge threat. Like, he has a lot of power. They didn't realize how much power he actually had until they were shown the amount of power that he has. Everyone is kind of like, the guys and the girls, they're all kind of like caught up on the same thing, so they all kind of know exactly what's going on at this point in the game. We had the whole Xavier situation, if you know from book like 2, what his order was, his father refusing to let him out. Well, in this one he's finally let out, and I am so happy for him. I think he deserves it. I didn't know that I was gonna actually like Darius' mom, but I actually really like the relationship that her and Tori are kind of building that we're seeing in here. Also, Oren and Darcy, I just love them so much together. It just makes me so happy when they can be together, but I feel like they're gonna be tested in some way before they get their mate bond. There's just so much going on and so much that I love that's going on. I wish I could say more in depth, but I feel like in these books we're not getting the asshole hairs that we were getting in the other books. I think in this one they're obviously not gonna just let the girls try to take their throne. They're still gonna try to fight for it because that's literally what they've been working for all their life. I think they're at a better understanding of one another, especially everything that just happened with Darius and Tori. So I think they're just first trying to figure out how they can help in any which way, doing what they can. But it's going really well, and I gave the last book 5 stars because I was just that obsessed with it. Guys, so you guys know that I'm literally about to be done with book number 5 in the Zodiac Academy Cursed Fates, and this one mostly really focuses on their relationships with Darius and Orion, and obviously we have the Caleb and Seth and Max in them as well, but really focusing on the relationships that the girls want. A lot of like relationship drama happens in this book, but then we also get little snippets of Darius's dad and his plans that he has coming, and he is searching for this almighty star or something like that. So a lot's going on, but a lot's not going on at the same time, if that makes sense. So I have less than 100 pages left, like 90 pages left, and then I will be done with this. So I'm gonna finish it and then I'll come back with my thoughts and rating. So I'm obviously in my kitchen and I just finished, oh my god, her sweets. What did I just read actually? My mouth was hanging open because I cannot believe the last like 4 chapters how they went. Like 5 stars, but like my mouth is hanging open, my heart is broken, and I don't know what to do, so I'm gonna just start the next book. This is so bad. So the next book is Faded Thrones. I cannot believe how this book ended on me. Literally, I'm so mad and frustrated I kind of want to throw my Kindle. Like, why did it end like that? This book is what's wrong with me. I cannot believe, oh my god, that it went the way that it did. It actually makes me want to just scream and cry. It's just, oh my god, it's so crazy. I cannot believe that happened. It's worse because it's its father. I cannot, oh my god, I can't. So much. Oh, I can't. Like, my heart hurts. My heart, like, physically hurts for them. Especially Darius, because of just everything. I can't process any of this. My brain is having a brain fart, but like I feel like this is uniting the girls and the guys. I think they're gonna be a force to reckon once they all figure out their dynamic and how they're gonna go about things. We just found out a lot in this one, but then also followed a lot more of their relationships together, if that makes sense. And it's not downloading, like literally it's not downloading. Like, what's going on? I'm gonna try it on my phone to download on my phone, and I just can't believe I just read that. I'm like in shock. I get why she gave in and why things are going the way that they're going. I hope Gabriel in the next one we get more to see how everything's gonna plan out or what the heck is gonna happen. I just can't. I just don't know how to process this. I'm still in the form of processing it because I literally just finished it. I feel like I'm repeating myself because I literally have no words. I don't know what to say, don't know how to express myself. It's just, I'm speechless, and I can't even tell you guys half of what I'm feeling because it's the 5th book in the series. So I literally can't say anything without giving anything else away. It's just so frustrating. But I'm hoping in the next book we get more action and more into them trying to figure out where that star, I can't remember what it's called, where the star is, getting what they need to like literally beat Darius' dad's ass because he needs it whooped. And he was so close in this book, so close. And then shit went to hell. And then the end, my mouth hanging open on the floor. And Claire, somebody needs to just drag her back to the Shadow Realm because that's where she deserves to go. And Oren, hang on, because we're getting everybody's point of view. So there's just so much going on that I just wrap it up for me. Just give it all to me, nicely packaged, so that I'm not about to freak out and have a panic attack because now I need to know what's about to happen next. He literally asked, who do you love? She said, a girl with blue hair and a guy with a dark soul. He said, no, try again. Who do you love? And she said, only you. And if you have read the book, then you know exactly who I'm talking about and why I'm so on edge. Like, I feel like I'm tweaking right now because did I just read? I'm gonna go process and start the next book now. Wish me luck that I'm mentally okay and I'm not about to just scream and yell and throw my phone at Kindle, because that might be a possibility. Hey guys, so I barely have been picking up my camera. I didn't pick it up at all yesterday, I don't think. I'm reading book 6, which is called Faded Throne. 48% into it, so almost 50% into it. My average reading with these books, I have been finishing a book like every other day. So the goal is to be finishing this book today. But anyway, so I wanted to come on here and tell you guys what's been going on in this book and things like that. This one we're seeing Tori really struggle, and we're seeing her struggle with the shadows, and Lionel is just using her, which if you have read the series, you know the book before, that huge cliffhanger basically destroyed me. Like, you guys see my reaction. I just had nothing to say. There's just so many small little things that are going on that are gonna make the ending fabulous. I just know it. I'm excited for it. Okay, we see Darcy has grown so much from the first book. I think in the first book we seen Tori was the hard-headed one, the one who basically kind of, I felt like fought all their battles, if that makes sense. Like, she was a big sister who felt like she always needed to protect her little sister, and that's just a vibe that we have gotten throughout the whole book until this book. I feel like in this book we see a huge growth in her, like, actually seeing the potential. So my camera died earlier when I was explaining to you guys how I was feeling. I feel like we've seen a lot of growth in Darcy in this book, more as in, like, she's becoming more into herself. She's not only depending on Tori, like, she's not only, like, she kind of feels like now she needs to save them, and she's getting control of her powers and her feet, and, well, because of her order and things like that. So it's coming together. You're seeing the heirs and her work together to try to save them, and it's going really, really well. But also her dealing with her relationship with Oren, that's very complicated at this. Okay, so we have to give him a coffee. We're gonna try this in a coffee place that just opened up here maybe a couple months ago that we've been dying to try but haven't tried. Hooters, I don't even know what he got me. Maybe it's like a wrap. Holy crap, that's really good. I think I found a new coffee place. We usually just go to, like, Dunkin's. And it's, like, perfect because it's not too sweet, but not too, like, that bitter coffee taste either. But I wanted to update you guys on where I'm at in the book. Where I'm at in the book, they're currently in the graveyard fighting skeletons to get what they need to try to take Lionel out. Fingers crossed that fate's on their side this time and it's not gonna go crazy. Oren, who's really back in the picture now. We have the heirs that are working together with the Vega twins, but we had a conversation, we read about a conversation before between Darius and Oren, and he still is claiming that he's going to take the throne heirs. I don't think that's gonna happen. He's way too into Tori for that to even possibly happen. So I don't know, there's little things going on right now that are gonna bring everything together, as I keep saying. Honestly, I read nothing yesterday. I'm 58% today, but today is the day that we are going to try to finish this book. I already know it's gonna end in a cliffhanger. Every other book in the series has ended in a cliffhanger, so I'm just waiting for it at this point. I'm nervous because of all the different elements that are in play right now. Like, so many things can go wrong and switch their fate. As you know, the stars are kind of like in charge of different ways and paths that the future can go. And Knox, we read of, he's in Dark Fae, and he's a seer, and he can see different paths, but he can't tell you what path to take because then the future will change. So they know that they're on the right path right now. Any small thing can just change everything. You're kind of like on the edge of your seat waiting to see if they're going to do something wrong or not. I don't know, it's really just intriguing and, like, has you, like, in suspense, because it's like, you know, there's different elements. Like, you want these people in a relationship, but you want them also to defeat this and do that right. I don't know, it's just, I feel like it's just a lot of pressure on this group of kids. Well, they're not kids, they're adults. I don't know, it just makes me really excited to read, and I just haven't felt this excited about a series in so long, like, to the point where I'm, like, giddy and I'm like, I can't put my Kindle down, or, like, to the point where, like, I'm charging my Kindle every other day because I'm on my Kindle literally all day long, which has never happened ever, because usually my Kindle can last for, like, weeks without me having to charge it. So that's saying something there, that I just been on my reading mood, and I love it. I love when I get in these moods. It just makes me feel good. It makes me just happy to be excited about a series, and then after I'm excited, I can just talk about it to everyone and anything, and just like, you need to go read it. Like, I'm that friend has friends that aren't readers, and I'm like, you need to just read it. I don't care that you don't read, but you just need to read it. And then I'm like, when they're like, no, then I'm like, okay, then I need somebody to talk to about it. So I'm just gonna spoil the whole book for you now, the whole series, because you're not gonna read it anyways. Anybody else has friends like that where you just rent to them? Because when I finished book 4 and 5, you guys see my reaction, how I could not get over what I read. I was explaining it to my husband, and he was looking at me like I was a nutcase. Like, he was like, okay, and because I'm explaining it all over the place. Like, I'm starting from the beginning, then going to the part that I'm at, and he's just looking at me like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not okay. I don't think I'm gonna be okay for a while until I get what's gonna happen, so it comes together. It was just hilarious the way he was looking. I wish I should have recorded his reaction, because he was looking at me like, wow, you need to take a breather. And I'm like, I can't. I need to go right into the next book. Just love seeing the heirs and the Vegas twins like friendship grow and the relationship on how like similar they are. I just love it. I love it. And then we have Seth and Caleb, who honestly I think that they might be mates. Just the way that Seth is describing how he feels is the way that I felt like Tori and Darcy feel about Oren and Darius. But I would love to see them get together. That would be so amazing, and it would just make me so happy to see them. And then I think Max and Bruce mates as well. So it's just so cute to see them all come together and like find this little love, even though like they haven't admitted it, but like it's just so cute to see. I'm a sucker for romance. I'm a romantic at heart, and it just makes me happy to see it. I'm gonna go drink my coffee and read, and then I'll update you guys on what I have read. Okay, so one person I love more than any of the main characters in this book is Bruce. Gary, whatever you want to call her, she is literally amazing. It's just the way that she talks is just hilarious for herself, because she doesn't get the sexual endunos, is that how you say that? Like, she doesn't get like the common stuff, like she gets it, but she doesn't care to get it in that aspect. I don't know if that makes sense, but she is probably the most funniest character I have ever read, just by the way that she talks, the way that she's so devoted to the Vegas. I absolutely loved it. I love that they're friends with her, because at the beginning you kind of were just like thrown off in the book 1 and 2, like she's a little out there, she's a little weird, but like in a good weird way. But like obviously since they're not used to that, it came off just like very just overbearing, I guess you can say. Now in book 6, seeing how close and best friends they are, it's just amazing to see that bond and how devoted she is to them. But I believe the Bruce like line has always been close to the Vegas. Like they've always worked hand in hand together, and they were always like kind of like, I don't know what you would call it, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but they were always just like kind of there, like they're second, kind of like the counselors, but like there to like help the throne line get through what they need to get through and do the correct things, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, I just love her. She's funny. I love her and Max together, because Max can be really funny as well because of her personality. It just kind of just brings out this funny side to him. I just love her. She's probably one of my favorite characters in this whole like series, and whenever we get to read or hear one of her lines, I just sit there and laugh the whole time, because I'm like, this girl, the way that she talks is just hilarious. I just finished book number 6, Fated Throne. The ending was just very action-packed. Everything I've been waiting for in this series, like the fight that just happened between them and Lionel. Why did I just say Lionel? Lionel. We get more backstory in this one about the Shadow Princess, but I will say I felt like this one was probably my hardest to read. I think just because I just felt so bad about everything that was going on in it, so I ended up giving it 4.5 stars. This was just a very tough one. We see a lot of the abuse that went on with Tori in this one while she was under Lionel's control, and you know, having the shadows and things like that in her. It was just very tough to read. And then we see like this not drift, but like this ache between Tori and Darius in this one, and this ache between Oren and Darcy, and it just makes you just thankful that we don't have things like that in our world that can separate us the way that they have been separated, or things like that. This book kind of just made me want to love my husband a little bit more and hug him a little bit more. The way that this ended, there's gonna be a lot to go on. At the ending of this one, I was like, oh my god, is this when they're gonna actually take the throne? But so many little things happen that we're going to be getting them, I think, in the next couple books. And I'm kind of nervous to see how everything's going to go, because Darius just did something huge, and I'm so nervous to see what's going to happen when that's all up. I wish I could say more, but I can't. Trying to not spoil anything for people that have not read it. But this one, I feel like this is the first time that we actually see them all, like the heirs and then the Vegas cruise and like their supporters actually really working together to destroy their one common enemy. So when we see that Lionel new rules out, and one of them is like orders cannot intermingle with one another, and how the lower class, the ones that he considers lower class, basically aren't getting, at Zodiac, aren't getting the knowledge or attention that they need to be able to succeed. But then also he's coming up with reasons in this one to kind of just like take out that whole order, and I really enjoyed it, especially that whole ending. So I'm gonna jump right into book number 7. Okay guys, so it has been since I've updated you guys on Zodiac.
what is this one? Heartless Skies and Zodiac Academy is book number 7. Put a pause on it because a lot of things started happening personally in my life, and I just didn't have time to read for like literally the last 12 days or something like that. It's been wild. But I'm back and we're about to get started with it. I'm literally only 25% into Heartless Skies. I'm on chapter 10. Just a lot going on in this book. Like, they're getting ready for what they believe is going to be a huge war between Lionel and obviously them. Heirs are still not standing down. Like, they still wanted to be able to take the throne. They believe that the twins just don't understand they're old enough to be able to leap to that step. So we're just not seeing a divide because right now they're all on the same page. They do still have like that thought in their head that like, hey, just because we're helping each other out right now does not mean that we are just gonna let you go sit on the throne, which is a big thing. We are still dealing with the Shadow Princess and that whole deal that's been going on with that. I believe at the beginning of this book we got a lot of the end of the last book we got a lot of insight on more of the Shadow Princess and a little bit of the past and things like that, which was very interesting to say the least. So there's just a lot going on, a lot of little things going on in between all of it as well. But like I said, this is probably one of my favorite series that I have read so far this year. Good morning. So I just came to update you guys on Zodiac Academy book number 7. I think in this one they're definitely going to start fighting back against Darius's dad after everything that has happened in the other book. I'm trying to keep this non-spoiler free, so I feel like I'm kind of just being very vague on what I'm saying. But in this one we see Darius and Tori just like hitting it off, but he has this huge secret that he just hasn't told her yet, and it's literally going to break her once she finds out. I think he's going to eventually just have to tell them all the deal he made. Anyway, Oren is power shamed, so like nobody really acknowledges him as a fae anymore. Kind of just look down upon him. Something really big happened in book 6 near the end that we believe that something is going on with Darcy that she doesn't even truly know right now, like dark. And then we have where they're at right now, where they're dealing with someone who was killing people that are part of like their uprise. Does that make sense? So like they're known as the rebels, so they're part of the rebels, and like they're being brutally killed and they have no clue who it could possibly be. I can give you guys my thoughts who I think it is. I think if you guys don't want to know this, I would just skip forward because this might be a little bit spoily. I think honestly it might be Darcy, and she doesn't even know it. She's cursed. They don't really know what that curse is. They think because of her not having the handprint on her anymore means that like her phoenix like kind of just washed it all away, because that's kind of what their powers can do. Like nobody can really manipulate them or things like that. So that's what they think, but I think that that's not what has happened, and I think that she is still very cursed. So we're gonna see how this all plays out. Gabriel on their side, who is a seer, most powerful seer of like their generation, has been helping them out a lot, but you're also seeing them work as a cohesive group, which I really love. I think I'm just waiting for the guys, the heirs, to like bend the knee for the queen, for them. So it's interesting. Also, Oren has a very huge play in how everything is going as well. They are starting the Zodiac Gilded again. They deal with dark magic, but it's to protect the king and queen and things like that. At least that's what I'm getting from that. Slowly trying to put together back that, and it's interesting to see how he needs all these different elements to be able to start bringing people into the Zodiac Gilded. We get to see a lot of Xavier, like the heir's siblings in this one as well, which I really enjoyed. I hope in the other books we get more. Specifically, the one sibling that we really do get to see is Xavier, which we've seen him in throughout all the other books and everything he was dealing with. But I knew that him and Sophia were gonna be like a thing. I just felt it. But I think they might be like a polyamorous, like the way that she's explaining how she feels for Xavier and Tyler, which we have met Tyler in other books as well. Just that's what's kind of coming to my mind. Really trying to fight back. It's not Darius's dad who was the biggest problem, it's that he has the shadows on his side. So he has the Shadow Princess on his side, who is the one who keeps on whenever they're about to do the killing hit, is the one who comes and saves him. It's just all over the place right now. There's just a lot going on in it, like little things that are adding up. They're just like, oh my god. The one that's really gonna hurt them all is Darius's deal, so I can't wait for that to come out so that we can know how they're all gonna react about it. Kind of just where I'm at in the book right now and how everything is going. I'm really hoping to finish this book today or tomorrow. I'm 43% into it. I've been reading a little slow from taking off for a week of readings, trying to get back into it. I'm hoping that I can get at least 70% 70 or 80% today and then finish the rest tomorrow is the goal. The gist of what's going on in this book, Austin Cruz, is just still hilarious as ever. Like, the way that she makes me laugh is just on another level. Like, she is probably the funniest character in this whole thing. She's just so funny and kind, and just how devoted she is to Vega twins is just chef kisses. I think I said this before in the vlog somewhere, but I've been loving it. Telling you guys now, this is one of my favorite series. I love a good romantasy book, especially with as much details and as much things going on at one time in here. Chef kisses to them because they blew this out of the park. My goodness, my camera fell over. Okay, I am cozy, but I got some Amazon packages. So I got a new planner, so I wanted to get some new like marker pens so that I can organize everything. And I got these, so I hope these are gonna be okay. I'm not really sure, but it comes in a whole bunch of different colors, as you can tell up top. So oh no. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna fit in my nose, actually. Oh, that makes me so sad. What can I use this for then? So I see my planner. I just got a happy planner. I really enjoy these planners. I had them before. Kind of like a journal planner as well. Like, I see a lot of people do a lot of cool things with these. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, maybe I'm not gonna be able to open this with one hand, but I'll show you guys. And then of course, this is what I was waiting for. The Reckless Guys. I have been dying to read this book. I do want to read Powerful before it though, but as soon as I'm done with that, I'm going right into this one because I mean, how can you not? Absolutely love it. And I love that it's not broken, and that's the reason why I didn't pre-order it. Every book that I have pre-ordered from Amazon, like I pre-ordered, what was it called? Crescent City 3, which I can't think of the name right now, and Iron Flame, and both of them came broken, and it literally destroyed my heart. And I tried to get another one of Iron Flame sent to me, and they literally told me that I had to ship back the one that I already had, but I told them that like, hey, like I can't do that because I already started annotating it, and I didn't realize it was broken until I got like to the last couple pages. It literally started falling apart in my hands, and I think they just refunded me because at that time, that's when that book was, it literally just came out, and it was, they didn't have it in stock anymore apparently, or they didn't have the sprayed edges one in stock anymore, I think it was. And I was like, no, I want my sprayed one. And we're gonna hear my kids yelling because they're playing right now, but I came on to update you guys. I just feel like every time they are literally about to like solve something, or like they think that they got this one thing down, bam, something else happens, or like they saw something and bam, something else happens. There's like 20 million little things going on right now in the series. You're a type of person that just can't keep up with a lot of things like that. I don't think you're gonna really enjoy like all the little subplots that are going on that are gonna come together at the bigger picture, if that makes sense. So things like that makes it hard for someone that doesn't read fantasy or romantasy or whatever you want to call it. A lot might get confused about all the little things that are going down. That's kind of where I'm at. I really want to finish it by this weekend. I'm 54% into it. Like I said, I haven't really been reading a lot, to be honest. The only time I've been reading this week is at nighttime, like maybe an hour or so before bed. So I'm only reading like 10% a night or something like that. It says I still have 9 hours and 48 minutes. I'm going to read this for a little bit this morning, and then I'm going to put my Kindle on the charger because it's literally going to die. And I prefer reading on my Kindle than my phone because then I'll get a massive headache until it's almost dead. I'm like 25%, so I have like maybe a couple hours left on here. Not that it's going bad, but like I said, there's a lot of little things going on, and we're getting multiple point of views. We're not only getting Tori, Darcy's, Oren's, or Darius, we're getting everyone's point of view, like the close friend group point of view. Not as often as obviously the girls and Oren and Darius, but we are getting the other point of views as well. I'm loving seeing this bond relationship build between Seth and Caleb. Like, they both are very attracted to one another, but are scared that if they advance on that type of relationship, it's going to basically like break their friendship if anything goes wrong. But I honestly believe that they might be mates. I really do believe it. That's all my thoughts right now as I was reading, and new things kept on popping up. I'm like, dang, like these girls are not getting, they're just not getting a breath. They're like, it's constantly like the stars are definitely against them, but I think in the bigger picture and at the end of it, it's gonna make all of them so much more stronger. I'm hoping that the guys, the heirs, bend their knees soon because they really need to build the Zodiac Gilded to be able to just get them anywhere. So it's interesting to see how this is going. The Shadow Princess plays a huge part from book 3 and on, I think, throughout this whole series. She's a big element in everything that's going on. She has a past with Tori's and Darcy's like family from like years and years and years ago. There's just a lot going on, a lot being said, a lot of little parts that we still do not know, and I can see and understand why this book is 12 pages. I mean 12 pages, I wish. 12 books, and they're not like small books, 800, 700 page books, so it's a lot going on in these books. But then we also have that beautiful romance aspect, which I think always brings a book together and makes you enjoy a book even more. As my son hits the door with a hanger. I have no clue how things are gonna go. Everything I've guessed so far just was not true, so I'm loving that it's keeping me on my toes and like wanting to guess and predict things. But like everything I have thought and felt, not felt, because everything I felt has been corrected for, but everything I thought that was gonna happen just did not happen. It like shocked me even more. Every ending of each book that I have read so far has left my mouth hanging on the floor. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen, so we will keep reading and figure that out. I love Darius and Tori together. Chef kisses. The whole vibe. I think they're probably my favorite couple in the book. I do like Oren and Darcy as well, but I just feel like, I don't know, I just don't feel them the way that I feel Darius and Tori. I feel like their love like burns everything because they're just so toxic to one another. But then through that toxic love, you see how much they truly care for one another as well. It's everything, it's everything, it's everything, it's everything. I love it so much. But the only 55% into it, guys. I'm getting nowhere apparently. That's how it feels, but I just haven't been reading how I usually read. It's just been rough, hard, just rough. Keep reading. I'm obsessed. I'm loving everything that's currently going on. And I'm back to talk about Darius and Tori again, but I loved how they just test one another. Like he's like just alpha male and was like, hey, like stay behind me so that I can protect you type of thing, and she's just like, fuck no, like I'm going head first into it without you. And I just love that about her and Darcy. They're just very like, you can think what you want to think, but I'm still gonna do what I want to do, and I just love that about them. I just love this series so much. There's just so much going on. I think, as I was saying, they're in the Barrows, which is kind of like where the rebels are staying, and there has been killings. I know I mentioned this before, but I'm gonna mention again. They don't know who it is, but currently where I'm at, they hear a scream and someone pleading for help, but the animal or whatever it is, it doesn't sound like a werewolf or anything they really know of right now. They're just about to run into it, so it's about to get really good. My thing is that I wonder if by the end of book 7, is the war gonna actually be starting? Well, I mean, I know it's already started, but I mean, are they gonna actually be like fighting? Because I think book number 12 is more of like a novella, so the different novellas throughout the series that they had all in one book. Now, I'm kind of nervous, but also really excited. I just had to come on and tell you how I love it. They're just such badasses. Also, this is a very chaotic reading log for Zodiac Academy. Another thing I really love throughout this whole series is the bromance with all of them. Even when they have like this tension between them, they always somehow figure out a way to come together. As the book goes on, it just surprises you how close they all get together. I just chef kisses to every part of this series. The bromance, the friendship, the fantasy aspects of it. Like, if this was a show, I would eat it up. It's just so good. It's just so good. And it just makes me so happy to read it and to know that I am one of those people who have read this series or reading it. Just makes me so happy. I can't wait for the next series that comes after this one. I think it's Darkmoor Penitentiary, if I'm not mistaken, and this is following Rosaline, which we know from the Dark Face series, because that is Dante's baby cousin. Just eat it up how it's all interconnected with one another. We just love that. I love when authors do that with their series. It just makes me so happy because it's like we're still part of this world and we still get to see what's going on and what's not going on, and I eat it up. I eat it up, and I obviously have to read it. Hey guys, I feel like I haven't updated you guys in a while because I've been in between books and I still have not finished book number 7. I don't know why this is taking me so long. Just a lot. My reading has just been really slow. But in this book, we're seeing Seth and Caleb with this chemistry and want for each other. and they finally do something. But right now they're like in that awkward stage where they don't know how to communicate what they're feeling. I think Caleb was trying to communicate at him one time like, hey, he's never done what they did with a guy, so like how can like show him the ropes. And when he was speaking, it kind of just came out wrong, kind of like he was saying like, sorry, like I can't really do this with you basically. And so much is happening. I just can't wait. They're probably like my third favorite couple, and I'm just like, yes. They're not even a couple yet, but I'm claiming it. They're a couple. They have these really big feelings for each other. I'm pretty sure they're celestial mates. I'm betting on it. Sorry, my kids are acting wild. Darius still has not told Tori about his deal, and I'm kind of like dreading when he does explain to Tori and his friends like what's going on and things like that, because they're going to be so heartbroken. They're going to try everything in their power to try to bring him back, and I mean, I'm hoping they bring him back. Like, I'm hoping like he doesn't just, whatever's going to happen to him happens to him, and they kind of just like let that go and Tori move on or whatever the case may be, because I cannot handle that. I will not be able to handle that. Also, how is the lighting in this room now? Because I moved my bookshelves around and my desk around where this window is bringing all the light, and this just looks fabulous. I just love it. It is going. It is going. It is going. Darcy and Oren finally get their one moment in this book as well. It is just going so well, because there's just so much I want to say, just get off my chest, and I can't say it because I don't want to ruin this series for you guys. Go into this series blind. Don't expect anything, because everything that you think of that you think is going to happen does not happen. It has left me with my mouth on the floor multiple times at this point, and I'm just eating it up because I love it. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to finish the series, but not even finish it. I just want to know what's going to happen. I want to know how everything turns out. I want to know who ends up together, who doesn't end up together. I just want to know it all, and I'm a sucker for things like that. I'm just really sad right now. We got to the part in book number 7 where Darius finally tells them like what he basically, the deal he made. It's just so heartbreaking to see them all break down around him and cry with him, well, cry for him, and just everything. Tori's reaction is definitely Tori. She literally punched him in the mouth. And I'm like, yeah, if she would have done something different, I think it wouldn't have been her. It's just very sad. And to see how all of them are feeling, the heirs, Oren, his mom, brother, is just tugging at my heart. And I just finished Heartless Skies. It's 11:39 at night, and all I have to say is, what did I, oh my god, the last 10% of the book, mouth on the floor hanging. It's like every time they think, ugh, they got this, they're about to fucking one up Lionel, it don't happen. It's just, ugh. They need to get rid of the fucking Shadow Princess, and every time they're literally there doing it, it's like she's on, like they thought they had it, and so much just went wrong, and my heart is hurting for all the characters right now in this book except Lionel and the Shadow Princess. Like, they can go to hell for all I care, but wow, 5 stars, loved it. Like, I still cannot believe what transpired at the end of it. Like, I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna take a break and try to read Reckless by Lauren Roberts, because that book just came out, and I'm like, yeah, no, like now I just need to jump right into book 8, because, and each time I'm like, oh my god, this is the end. That's what I was thinking, like, this is the end. Like, how are the other books are gonna go if this is like them doing what they have to do? And bam, not only Darcy and Oren, like, they're not catching a break. They haven't catch a break from the beginning, just like Darius and Tori haven't. But in this one, like, my heart literally hurts for them at the end, because like, what the hell? And then we have Darius and Tori, and my heart is breaking for them as well. Like, there's just like, they just can't catch a break. And then we have Knox, who you see in Dark Day, and I can't believe what is going on with that whole situation too. If you know, you know. I don't know how they're gonna come back from this. Like, I don't know how it's gonna all come in their favor. I don't know. And then we got this message from the Star. Well, the Stars talk to Tori at the end, and that just, none of that makes sense to me either. So it's like every time the Stars try to talk to them or help them, it's like they're not really giving them anything. They're just giving them like clues for them to figure out what it means. I don't know what I just read. When I'm not okay is all I have to say. I'm not okay. Not okay at all. Like, I had tears coming down. Like, I'm not okay, guys. This is not okay. And they keep messing with my feelings, and I'm not okay. I'm not okay. And yeah, I'm jumping right into the next book now. I literally wish I could say more, but I can't. Like that whole battle that just happened, I loved it. I love reading scenes like that, and it's just like I was just, so many people got hurt, so many bad things happened not in their favor, so many just things that you would have thought that Knox, you know, he's a seer, that he would have seen, but also obviously we know that he can't see anything that like is darkness or the shadow princess's powers or like her shadows or anything. Like he can't see or predict when something like that's gonna happen, so on that front like he can't really help, but like everything else he usually sees. So they got them good this time and my heart is hurting. No. So here we go. I look literally crazy. Like I have not even like got myself up. I've just been editing, so now I'm posting, so now I'm updating you guys. I am 13% into Sorrow and Starlight, which is book number 8, and I feel like I'm gonna fly through this book. And I say that because I'm so invested right now. Tori is very distraught, very angry. She's very just everything. We knew from the beginning, from book 4 I want to say, that she just had this hate for the stars because she felt like they are constantly doing her wrong and constantly putting her through something. And I agree 100%. Like her and Darcy have not gotten a break throughout this whole book. The stars have just been shitting, literally just shitting on them constantly. And the way the book number 7 ends, she's just over it. Like she's just like, fuck the stars, I'm gonna curse them, I'm gonna bring hell down on them now. Love that. I love that Tori is not gonna let them trying to decide her fate actually decide her fate, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but in my head it makes sense when I said it. So we're definitely seeing this war brewing, okay? And book number 7, at the end of it, we get this little war that does happen, but obviously it's not the complete war. There's still a lot going on, and I love that because I feel like in other books that are kind of like not war-based, not like that, but like where there's just big war, civil war going on in this society or this world, we have just that one big war that we all are expecting. We see little things that happen, like, you know, little sneaky things that they do to one another, but in this one it was a full out blown war. I can't wait to see like the big massive one that's gonna happen, how Tori is going to heal or how Darcy is going to heal from everything they have currently been through, because they have been through a lot throughout this book. And I love how you can't guess anything. I will say I did guess a couple things in book number 7. I was eating it up. I was just so entertained and in the feel with them. I didn't even care. I didn't even care that I finally guessed one thing right. I did not care. Other than that, it's going really, really well. I'm really all just heartbroken in this one. Even the other heirs, they're very just distraught with everything, and I think this turn of events and them finding out what happened is gonna make them bow to the Vega twins because of everything that is going on now. I think it's gonna really unite them as one and not have like this feeling of, okay, when this war's done, are we really going to keep going at it until one of us is on top type of vibe. I am just hoping this one, it's gonna end in another cliffhanger. A very huge cliffhanger. I feel like we still have, what, we're on 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We still have 4 more. I'm gonna say technically 3 more books because the 12th book is more like I said, the novellas throughout the story. I cannot wait to see how this is all gonna wrap up. And if you have read the Ruthless Boy series, then you know kind of like there's gonna be a HEA. I think in their books they always try to do an HEA, and I keep on, as everything's going on, I keep reminding myself, okay, everything is going to eventually, I hope, be okay by the end, because of how book number 5 in the Ruthless Boy series went, Warrior Fae, how that ended in the prologue that we got in there and all that. I'm like, everything has to be okay, right? Right? So that's what I keep telling myself, but there's just so much that is going on right now that you don't know like which way or how it's gonna go. I do like that in book number 7 and now in this book we are getting little movies of Lionel and what he's thinking, and so that's nice, but like he's still shit. That doesn't change how I feel about him at all, because he's just a very nasty individual and he has everything coming to him that's gonna come to him, and that's all I have to say about that. One thing that I noticed as I'm reading is that everyone is hiss at the stars because they feel like they define destiny. They are fate. They are the ones that know what's going to kind of happen next. They're not helping them when they need the help. So we're getting, I don't think I ever got this phase point of view before, but he's a student at Zodiac Academy, and we have, what is it? He was mentioned in books and things like that. He actually bullied one of, I think it was Tori, if I'm not mistaken. He was part of the heir's friends when they were at Zodiac Academy, and just the way things are being run in the kingdom right now and the new laws and things like that, a lot of it is something that like obviously they can't change. Like they were born with that order. Like he's a cow, he was born with that order, and now they're known as lesser fates and they're getting all this unfair treatment. And they're just very angry with the stars. Like, how is it that you love us so much and you guys give us this beautiful world and all these different fates that like turn out or whatever the case may be, but you guys can't help us in the time that we truly need it. It sounds like Milburn is up to something with lesser fates, so I want to see what that's going to be about. Literally, I swear, I hope that when they kill, I'm hoping they kill him. I hope he doesn't go to Darkamore. But I'm hoping that when they kill Lionel, it is very detailed and we get every action. Like, I hope it's like at least 3 chapters. Like, it's not like a quick death because he does not deserve a quick death. I can promise you guys that. If you guys are reading this or have read it, please comment down below that his death is just probably the best part of the series. At least one of the best part of the series. At this point, I still have 50% in. I just started reading for the day and it is 4:15 in the afternoon. I noticed that I have been reading later in the afternoons and kind of using my mornings to just hang out with the kids, catch up on some chores around the house. If you guys like that, like a reading vlog where, yeah, we're primarily talking about books, but you still like my casual little updates on my life in there, please let me know because it's so hard not to do that. It's so hard not to sit here and like casually update you guys on my life because I feel like I'm just talking to you guys on like FaceTime and we're just chatting about everything that we love. It's hard for me not to be like, not say anything about my life. Does that make sense? But yeah, I'm gonna get back to reading and seeing what Milburn is up to because I need to. I am 27% into book number 8 and yeah, that's kind of just where I'm at. I'm really, I think I said this before, but like I was not expecting Bruce and Max to kind of like become the thing. I think they're mates. I'm just gonna call it now. And then I think Caleb and Seth are mates as well. And anyways, I really like Max and Bruce's, oh, say hi girl, say hi, relationship. They're just funny. Max is very protective, so obviously at her order she literally has to, she doesn't have to be naked, but like obviously when she shifts back they're naked. He is so protective, like he doesn't want anyone looking at her. It's just the way that she talks. She's just so funny. Her character is literally everything. I think she's probably one of the most important characters in this story as well. Is how loyal she has been to Tori and Darcy from the beginning. She's in so much pain in this book and it just shows you their characters. Also, I'm really not liking the council right now. I do like Caleb's mom. I think she's all for them ruling, being councilmen under the twins once they take the throne. I just really am not liking Seth's mom and then Max's dad. It's just, they're not it. You can tell they're very just, why are you bound to them? Like, we don't need to speak to these people. We don't need to seek their counsel type of vibe. And it's just like, yes you do. You wouldn't be there if it wasn't for Tori. Just a lot of little things that are just really irking me about them. Also, I wonder if we're gonna see more of like their siblings in this one, just because I mean at the beginning of book 7 we've seen a lot of the siblings and now we're not really seeing much of them, so I'm hoping that we see more of them. Also, I really want to see more of Xavier or get more into his mind in this one, just because he did lose a lot in book number 7 at the end as well as Bruce. So I'm ready to see what this is going to bring us and how this series is going to wrap up, because I literally have no clue on how it's going to come together and be a happily ever after, because I'm not seeing it right now, guys. I'm not seeing it. It's making me kind of sad. So yeah, I'm going to just keep on reading for a little bit, and then I think I'm going to maybe 100 more pages and then switch to an arc that I need to read. So I'll come back on and update you guys kind of where I'm at in it then. Fingers crossed that some good things are happening for them because they need it. Hey guys, so I came on to tell you guys, Tori is looking into more of like the 5th element. We heard about this 5th element and I think it was book like 1 to 3 in between there when we started learning about like the shadows and things like that. But we always thought the 5th element was the shadows. Now I'm thinking that that's not the case at all. I just think that it's just in general dark magic. So like blood magic, bone magic, hexes, things like that is a shadow. You know what I mean? I hope that in the next books we learn about more like what are the nymphs are about and things like that. that and like what their world entails and kind of just more about them, like what they entail, because we know now that not all nymphs are bad or just drawn to the dark power because they have no power. At least that's what I'm thinking. And then once they get there, like obviously they're sucked in because of it being so dark. We all know that because we have read about it since book 3 and on. But if they can get this 5th element and know how to harness it and like do blood magic or dark magic or whatever the case may be, they might be able to defeat Lionel, because obviously we know that they are at war with Lionel right now. And so much has happened, y'all. So much has happened. My heart has been broken since the last of End book, and feeling Tori's pain, Caleb's pain, like the whole friend group pain, like it's hurting. And in here you're seeing them all so angry and wanting to just like destroy everything, get revenge. Her and Caleb have a very different bond. Like I think they're just very like, they're like best friends. I wouldn't be surprised if he's her nebulous ally just because of how close they have always been. And I think I said this from the beginning, how I thought they were nebulae allies. So we'll see how it all ends up. A lot of things Darcy's doing with the dark shadows right now. Eating it up, y'all. I'm eating it up, and I just love this series so much, but I need to get a kick on it. I've been reading super slow. We all know this. I've been reading slow for like ever. Good morning, guys. It is about like 9:18 in the morning and I am already reading because I feel like I need to get my reading on today. I feel like I haven't really been saying the dates, but just to let you guys know, this has taken me like almost 2 months to just get to here, just because I did have other books that I did have to read in between. So altogether maybe like about 3 weeks to get to book number 8 altogether, so technically not a month yet. In time now feels like it's been longer. I'm just gonna put this as this might be a spoiler. So if you do not want to hear this, please just skip over this. In one of the books, I can't remember which books before this one, we learn about the Zodiac Gilded, which they were kind of like protectors of the King of the Vegas, basically. We read that Orin had to build that Gilded again. So like he needed to find trusted people to bring into the Zodiac Gilded to protect the queens. That has never happened yet, so I'm wondering if like that is going to happen, because I remember that being something that needed to happen for the girls to ascend to the throne. Obviously there's this aspect where Gabe can see the future, but he can't see the shadow, so he can't see like the darkness in the future, if that makes sense, and that keeps on throwing them for a loop. But then we also just found out in this one that the Vegas have a curse on them, that every Vega line or generation, I guess you could say, has had a curse on them, and in which each year that they don't fulfill this thing that they need to fulfill from this curse, it gets worse. So they're obviously at the worst of the curse now, so they need to break, so Tori needs to break that curse to be able to have any sort of power or any sort of like inkling to winning this war that she's having with Lionel to ascend the throne with Darcy. There's just so many other little factors going on in this. My mind is just blowing. Like we have the counselors just demanding that they are the leaders, that like basically for the rebels not to listen to Tori at all. How can you demand that when you guys have not fought by these rebels at all, and you guys want to be leaders now because you guys were rescued? And mind you, they're not even grateful that she rescued them. Like she literally rescued them, and they are still trying to not like dethrone her, but like make her seem like she's incapable of doing her duties as a queen, when that's all she has been doing. Because been putting everybody else's feelings and issues in front of her own, and now she's ready to take back her promise that she told the stars that she was going to do. There is a shadow baby in the world. There's just so many things going in factor. The first time that we seen Shadow Princess have a child, it was, well, not seen, but read about it, it was just such an unnatural thing. And then to hear about it the second time was so just like, I think what makes it worse is that they can't see. They don't have a seer to know like what their next step, what they should do, what they shouldn't do, which Gabe was the one who was helping them with that. I don't know what's gonna happen, guys. I don't know how this is all gonna end up. I'm like super nervous to see. I am hoping this ends in a HEA. That's the only way I'm going to accept this. There's just so many things going on that I need to know, and I'm determined to finish this series by next week. Like that's just all that's on my mind, is finishing this series. I do have a couple things going on next week. Like I said, today is August the 2nd. I believe I started this in July, if I'm not mistaken, this whole series. So it's literally all together, it's been about like 3 weeks since 3 weeks of reading for this series. Yeah, oh no, in June. And then I only read one book last month. So yeah, about 3 weeks, I would say. But yeah, no, I just wanted to come on, update you guys on where my thoughts are at, where things are going. They're learning more things about phoenixes, about that curse that was put on them, and just a lot of crazy shit. And they're still finding gilded stones that they need for the Zodiac Guild. Does that make sense? I feel like that makes sense. I could
I feel like I'm all over the place, but I feel like it's making sense
I
now.
just wanted to update you guys, and Cal getting closer, and it's just everything. It's everything. They have this thing going where they both want each other, but they're not telling each other that they want each other because they don't want to ruin the relationship. And then we have Seth, who just keeps talking out his mouth, making him just feel terrible. He has no feelings, and like he's just using him like he has used everybody else. Because as we know, Seth is a wolf, so he's used to having orgies and just things like that. But with Callum, it's completely different. Like he solely just wants him, and they have gone months without doing it with other people, and kind of somehow are always doing little things to each other. And it's just crazy because not only do their parents walk in on them, but it's a whole thing where they have to like preach to them like, hey, like this can't be a thing. And obviously, you know, what the star wants, the stars get. So we're gonna see how this all plays out. They're still trying to overrun the Vega Queens, as in like they're rebels and like just taking over, because they're tired of Tori constantly just leaving just to leave to go do other things. I think what they don't understand is that she's doing everything that she can to make sure that they're not under Lionel's control. We're literally gonna finish that. Guys, I finished book number 8. I'm giving it 5 stars. So much. I think that's such a crucial book of this series. Like so much happens in that book that I can't even tell you guys. Like just Tori is one bad beep. I can't say it, my kids are around here somewhere. Like she goes, I won't say to hell and back, but she literally goes to heaven and back. No playing no games whatsoever. She's going to defy the stars and everything that they have put them through. She's one badass. Just seeing her grieve in this one, seeing honestly everyone grieve in this one really tug at my heart. There was just so much. I feel like it took me forever to read, but it was just so much going on in it that I was taking my time reading it, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. The way that it ends, like, I don't know, you remember how, I don't remember what it's called, but the necklace they were wearing, I'm having like brain fart. I've had a headache for 2 days now, so my brain's just not functioning properly. They figure out that the Vegas are cursed, and they need to figure out how to, like, what this curse exactly entails and what it is, because they truly don't know what it is. But like at the end, you see everyone come together. It was just really great and wholesome until like, I want to know when. So there is a book after book 8, which is kind of like, well, book 8.5, which is like getting the thoughts from like the people in the veil. I was like, I'm kind of gonna skip that one. I want to get to where we are now and what's going on now in it, because it's about to get good. Because I'm pretty sure I told you guys there's like, let me go to my Goodreads fast. There's 12 books, but I know that book number 12 is novellas, so we're getting chapters from other books that are in other people's point of views, which I don't feel like I need to read. Am I another person that just doesn't like doing that? And then I think book number 9 is supposed to be the 8.5 one. I'll tell you guys right now. Number 9 is Restless Stars. That's the one that I'm currently reading. And why does that look like it's the last one? Is this the last book? Is this gonna be the one? I thought there was 12, was it 16 books in total, but it's the last book? Is there really only 9 books? No. What is going on? I'm losing it. Is there only 9 books? No. Maybe I'm going to Lulu and I made that up somehow, but no, I thought maybe it's with the extra books in between. I think that's what it is, but okay. Breaking my heart to know that it's wrapping up. Wow. This is crazy. I was not expecting Tower to be on the last book. Like, what am I gonna do after this series? It better be a freaking amazing wrap up, because wait, what? No way. I need to go look on Amazon, because Amazon played me. Let's turn you guys around so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Let's see. 10 is Restless Star on here. Oh, The Boys. Oh my god, it is the last book. I made it to the end. So I am on the last book of Zodiac Academy, which you guys seen in my last clip. I can't remember what I was saying in this one, but I haven't really updated you since I've been reading it. I'm only 62% into it, and they're just basically setting up for this war that's about to go down with Lionel. We're just seeing them kind of prep, trying to get more allies. We're also seeing Caleb and Seed finally coming together, which is probably one of my favorite things of reading this, but we're seeing how strong the girls truly are. In this book, we are really focusing on the stars, because there is a star that is kind of just trying to wreak havoc, and they're also in this one trying to figure out what the Gilded Stones actually do and how they can help them in this war that's about to go down. And then we also have Thorax, I think that's how you say his name, and obviously that is the son of Lionel and the Shadow Queen, the Shadow Princess. He's an an in-between type of person. He's like in that gray area where it's either he doesn't know, he doesn't want to do or be forced to do something that's going to change things. He kind of just wants to sit there and kind of watch everything. But then you're also seeing that like he wants to have this bond with his brother, and it's just a very weird thing that's going on, because we had this inception in book 8 that he was going to be like the greatest thing and literally like wreak havoc, and he hasn't done that. He has actually saved them multiple times at this point, so I don't know, I want to see how that's going to play out. It's going really good. We're just making plans. We're seeing the counselors kind of step back a little bit more. We've seen Caleb and his mom go at it so that he can take her counselor's seat, because that's the way of the Fae and that's how they do it. So we've seen that. We've seen him and Seth finally get their happily couple moment where they're together, and you know, it's them, and it makes me so happy for them. There's a lot going on in this book, action wise and like planning and things like that, and if you like that, then you're gonna love this book. So far I'm not gonna say I'm devouring, but I just have so much going on, and I don't want this book to end, that I think that like literally I'm reading like 2 pages a day. It's ridiculous at this point, but I'm gonna get it done. That's the goal, is to get it done by the end of this week. And honestly, if I could, I want to get it done tomorrow, which tomorrow is Wednesday. Fingers crossed that I can do that, because my life's about to get a lot more busier with me doing cheer. Like tomorrow we have 2 main things going on, and school starting, and there's just a lot going on just life-wise. Reading, I don't know, I don't want to say I'm getting in a book slump, but I just really haven't been in the mood to read lately, so I think that's what is making me drag this out, on top of not wanting to finish it. So there's that. Seeing also Mac and Bruce come together as well. I'm just loving all the couples in the series. I really love all the side characters, all the main characters. Enjoying this whole series, and if you have not read it, I totally recommend you to go read it. This is your sign to go read it, actually, because I'm literally about to be done, and I feel like I'm about to be lost without all the characters in the series. Like, they're a huge part of my life at this point, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? I have this sweater on, but it's just one of my favorite sweaters, and it's constantly in the wash, and as soon as it comes out, I throw it right back on. But I just wanted to read this because this sums Darcy up perfectly. I think that Warren asked her like if she could have stayed in the mortal world, would she have, compared to like going like through this war. She goes, if I die in this war, then hell, at least I will have lived. I've known you, I found a home, a family. If I can only have that for this short time, then I'll take it over never having had it at all. I just love them. I don't want it to end. 110% honest with you guys, I'm having a very emotional day today. Can't tell you why. I'm gonna cry. I've been thinking about Zoe today, about my grandmother, just a lot of different things that are making me just really super emotional today. But obviously I'm reading Zodiac Academy right now, and it's just this one part. It says, let's chase life in tomorrow's battle and swear to claim it on the other side. I love Darcy and Oren. I'm 73% into it, and the goal is to finish it by tomorrow, which is Friday, y'all. Honestly, I want to say since August has started, I have barely read. Even in July, I feel like I barely read. So I'm trying to get my reading on, to be quite honest. Like, I'm in the mood, like I'm not in the mood to read, but I am in the mood to read. But then I'm in the mood to do like 20 million other different things. Like, I don't know if it's like ADHD kicking in or what's going on. I've never been diagnosed with it, but I think since being an adult and having kids, I feel like everything is go, 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 go. So my mind is constantly go, 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 go. I'm trying to go, go, go and get all this reading done, but we'll see if that happens. I just really love this, the characters, the couples, and my heart is hurting. I'm so excited to read about this war, like the battle of this war that's about to go down. I want every detail every detail you have been giving me throughout this whole book, this whole series. Honestly, I want this in this last final big explosion when Lionel and the twins come head to head. It's gonna be just beautiful in the most beautifulest ways that you can even think of. Like, I am so excited to see how everything's gonna come together for them. I think they deserve it. They have been so much. Every character in this book has been through so much because of Lionel, so I can't wait to see how happy they're gonna be. The end of this book is probably gonna make me cry. I don't want it to end, but it says, once upon a time I was a girl afraid to be burned by the world. Now I'm a queen who rules the fire. I will win this war for you, land, and I swear to the stars I will meet you at the altar. Girl, you better meet him at the altar. It makes me sad. It just makes me nervous for what's coming. But I love that in each book throughout this whole series, we are getting, I think in book 2 is when we start getting kind of a little bit of everybody's POV. So the heirs, obviously Oren, Bruce, literally everyone. And I think we start getting Lionel's point of view in maybe book 4. I could be wrong. It might be I think it's book 4. Yeah, book 4. Because that's when everything literally goes to fucking hell. From there on out, your mouth is going to be just fucking on the floor. You're gonna be in tears half the time. Just everything, just everything. You're gonna feel every emotion that you thought that you wouldn't feel in this book. You're gonna feel it in that one. So best of luck to you all. Like right now, we're on to Steph's point of view, and try to make this vlog as non-spoiler as I can. But it's so hard to do a whole video on a series without talking about things that obviously has happened in the other books, without being like, oh my god, and trying not to get so excited and give so much away. So I try to keep a lot of that to a minimal. But I feel like as I got to book like 8, I just was like, how do I not talk about everything that has happened and hype this series up the way that it deserves to be hyped up? Because I believe that everyone should read this series because it's that freaking good. And literally this whole series has just put me in a fantasy mood. So I just have a lot of reading to do, a lot of vlogging that's gonna be going on, just like a lot of just everything. What am I reading and how amazing is this ending coming together? First off, when you read books, usually like when there's this big war, big thing, it's literally like maybe 2-3 chapters. Let's just say I'm eating it up. I just wiped it away, but I have been crying, and each second it's like something new is popping up and you're just like, I know what's going on, but it's like, how? I'm obsessed. I'm eating it up. As you can see, I've been reading all day. I look crazy. I look like a crazy mess. I'm like 85% into it, so I'm almost done with it, and I want to cry because no, I don't want to be done with it. Here we are, and everyone is fighting so hard and vigilantly. They're just fighting like so hard, and it's just so awe-inspiring, I guess is what I want to say. Like, to see how hard they're fighting for their queens. It's just everything, literally everything, and it's not disappointing. I finished Zodiac Academy on Saturday, and I have no clue what this is on me. It looks like paint. How? I don't know. All I have to say is, why? Like, why did it have to end? I was so invested in this series, as you guys know, because I did this whole vlog about it and my whole experience while reading it and some of my reactions and just kind of updating you guys what was going on in the books and just all that. Obviously, maybe I left out a lot, but because I didn't want to ruin a lot of the huge special moments that happened throughout this book. But then Sunday came and I was like, what do I do? Like, I needed a whole day to process that last book. It was just chef kisses. I feel it was perfect. It was everything and more. I loved that the war took from, I think, like maybe like 75% till like the end of the book was all about the war, and maybe like the last 5% were like obviously like the years later and things like that. But love always getting in a book where I'm so invested in the characters and like I literally feel like I'm a part of their family, or I'm a part of Solaria at this point. I love getting to see where they are like 9 years later, seeing that they had kids, that they had a happy life, like, you know, things like that. I love seeing that in books that I really enjoy. I feel so connected to. Like I said, Zodiac Academy is like literally probably one of my number 1, or not even, I don't want to say number 1, but like my top 5 favorite series that I've ever read. Like this whole series as a whole is a 5-star read. The emotion that I felt throughout reading this whole story, not even just talking about the last book was very emotional and very just like, you kind of were on edge because you knew what was coming, but you didn't know which way it was gonna go. But even throughout the whole series, I felt like I was on edge waiting for the next thing that was gonna come. I think I only guessed maybe 1 or 2 things that were gonna happen, but everything else was like a shock to me. I just loved it all. I really truly loved every second of reading this series. I read at the end of book Restless Stars that like they're coming out with a whole new series now, and as we read throughout Zodiac Academy, you see that like there are different worlds other than, I guess I don't want to say different worlds, but like kind of like the world now, like there's different continents, and I think that's kind of how the next book is going to be on a different continent, or even a different world that we heard about, or like one of the worlds that they mentioned while throughout the series, or throughout one of the books, where we learned that there are different worlds and there are different textures in place there, and how like some worlds are like the stars are, you know, fae in them, and they're just playing this cruel fate on other faes and just things like that. And I'm so excited to get into that world, but also cannot wait to read Darkamore Penitentiary, because we all know that I need to know what Rosalie is going to do to get her man out. We all know this. I just really enjoy kind of every book that Peckham and Valenti always write. They always just capture me and intrigue me and suck me in, that I'm just like, I can't stop reading. Promise, hands down, that I would throw everything down just to read their books, because I already know that I'm gonna love it, just because of how the flow of the writing is, how they write, the speed, the pace, just everything about the book that you just know what you're getting into and know that about to just be obsessed. I am so sad that I finished Zodiac Academy. That's all I have to say, honestly. If I would reread it, I already want to reread it. Like, that's just wild to me that I just finished it and I already want to reread it. That's how you know it's like 100 out of 5 stars, because like, how? And yeah, now I just need to get the rest of the books in this series so that I can have on my bookshelf, so that when I do eventually reread them, I can read the physical copy instead of reading on my Kindle. And one thing about me is that I love to get the paperbacks or hardbacks of my favorite books so that I can go back and reread them and annotate them and just fall in love with them all over again. Sadly, this is the end of Zodiac Academy and I'm just so devastated, but like in a good way devastated. This is the end. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!